Welcome to a new video. Today I will be exploring and reviewing the district of Vera, more specifically its west side, which is known as Round Garden, and I will be reviewing it based on many different categories. Let's get started with the video. The area I'm reviewing today is squished between the Rustaveli and Vache districts of the city. Chefchawadze Avenue is one of the most lively and beautiful places in all of Tbilisi, and is the main avenue of the Vache district. Since its renovation in 2020 and becoming one of the best streets to live near in Tbilisi, the city has been putting in a lot of work to make it the central business district of the entire city and country, hosting many significant buildings such as the Pixel Center, which is a shopping mall and business building, House Art Plaza, which is a mixed-use high-rise building, the Axis Towers, which are the tallest buildings in Tbilisi, and that is a multifunctional complex, consisting of a shopping complex, hotels, and multiple luxury apartments. There are so many more magical places on Chefchawadze that if I had to name them all, this video would be way too long. Tbilisi State University is the most prosperous and prestigious university in Georgia, with an attendance of over 23,000 people and over 5,000 staff members. This university is basically the Harvard of Georgia. If you look at the resume of any Georgian president, prime minister, mayor, or wealthy individual, it is most likely that they attended this university. It's also in the top 400 universities in the world, and is currently tied in ranking with the University of Warsaw. This university gives a high-quality European standard of education and provides many different courses for students to learn, in English and in Georgian. If you are looking to study at this phenomenal university, Round Garden is the perfect place to live, as it is in close proximity. Round Garden is a quick 5-minute walk from the university, and as the name suggests, it is in the Round Garden area of the city. So, what is Round Garden? Round Garden is a relaxation and recreational area that was placed in the center of a large roundabout and turned into a park. It has fountains and shade and many other things. Let's check it out. Personally, I love Round Garden. It's a beautiful place and a great place to relax. You have the birds singing, the sun shining down on your face, and if you don't like the sun, there are shady spots too. One of the first things you'll notice about Round Garden when walking through its area is the lack of commie blocks. There are a few in the neighborhood, but far less than any other district in Tbilisi, which is very interesting. A major architecture style of the district is Stalin-era buildings and other kinds of newer complexes. The amount of unique facades and architecture designs compared to other districts really adds a lot of character, and I really like it. Another notable feature of the district is its very interesting topography. The Round Garden area is somewhat hilly, being on the foot of a mountain. It's not too hilly like some other districts though, but sometimes there are noticeable changes, kind of like in this shot. Another question you might ask after I mentioned the hilliness of the district is how walkable is it? Although the streets are sometimes thin and a bit hilly, you can walk places in this neighborhood. Every intersection has crosswalks and stoplights, and both sides of the street have sidewalks. Due to the streets being pretty thin, not every street has grass and trees, but most streets do. A cool part about this district as well when walking is I discovered that they still kept the traditional courtyards of Tbilisi, despite the district getting some new modernized buildings. So not only do you have some parks and streets, but also some nice courtyards to sit in and bask in the sun. In terms of accessibility, due to its hilliness and Soviet street design, not every place is recommended for wheelchair users. But the nearby Chefchawadze Avenue is actually one of the only long avenues in the city that is fully adapted for people with mobility needs. Due to the lack of accessibility, it's also not the best to ride a bike here, but it's doable. Overall, I'd give this a walkability score of 7 out of 10. And on the topic of walkability, let's talk about the main bonus of it, the access to amenities. A thing I love about this neighborhood is how everything is in such close proximity. In this neighborhood, they have perfected mixed-use zoning, and it really shows. This is what I found in a 5-minute walk. A wine cellar, a technical store, a store that sells snakes, and then in the floor below there was also a pet store, a dental clinic, a bakery that also had a clothing store next door, a laboratory equipment store, a carpet store, a shoe store, a house cleaning equipment store, another clothing store, and a restaurant within these 3 buildings, multiple grocery stores, a pharmacy, a liquor store, a sushi restaurant, another restaurant, and then the stores surrounding the Round Garden Park number at least 10. The access to all different kinds of amenities, as I just showed, is absolutely amazing. And every building has trash services, sewage services, that's all taken care of. Everything you can get is within a 5-minute walk in this neighborhood. Overall, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 amenity access score. This does it better than many districts in the city, and is one of the best. So, you might have good access to amenities, but how do I get around the rest of the city? Well, that leads us to our next category, public transportation. Public transport access is pretty good, with at least 3 routes within a 2 to 3 minute walking distance. And then about a 5 to 7 minute walk from the area is Chavchavadze Street, which has multiple different routes to choose from that can go all over the city just from one stop. But even if you don't want to walk to Chavchavadze Avenue, the 3 routes that are local to the Round Garden District still can get you pretty much anywhere in the city. Route 383 goes locally through Round Garden and then merges onto Chavchavadze Avenue. And then it can also go to the old town of Tbilisi, and it also connects to the first and second lines of the metro. So from the 383 route, you can get anywhere in the city. The closest bus stop on Chavchavadze to Round Garden is served by over 10 different bus routes. I don't have to explain already, but with these 11 bus routes serving the bus stop, you can go anywhere in the city, sometimes even the suburbs on the edge of the city. And then the other 2 local routes serving Round Garden also have metro connections and connect with the central railway station. Since this area lacks a close proximity metro station, I would give it a 5 out of 10, but because of the amazing bus options you have, I'll bump the rating up to a respectable 7 out of 10. Now that we've ranked all the categories, time to sum it up all together and go to the last category, which is not rated, but still is important, and that is livability. Round Garden is a very prestigious area and has a decently dense population. Since the last census, it had a population density ranging from 20,000 to 50,000 people per square kilometer. Now about crime. If you look anywhere on the internet, you will find out that Tbilisi is a very safe city, with it being one of the safest cities in Europe. And it is no different for this district, and especially this district, because this is one of the safest districts in the whole city. This neighborhood has a very nice and laid-back atmosphere. But of course, this does come at a price. Products at grocery stores and services shops in this neighborhood are slightly more expensive than the rest of the city. You'll end up paying probably about 5 to 10% more than the rest of the city. In the current rental situation, a 2-room apartment will cost you about $1,400 a month. But that's just because Georgia's in a bit of a housing bubble right now, and it is expected to go down eventually. But buying an apartment in this district is a pretty worthy investment, as it is in a booming district and the future city center, at least planned, of the city. It is not only close to the recreational area of the Round Garden Park, but also Missouri Park and Vakia Park, which are said to be the best parks in Tbilisi. So, do you think it would be worth the money to live in this district, and would you live in this district? Let me know in the comments below. Personally, I really love walking through here, especially on a nice and sunny day. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Any feedback is appreciated. What kind of content would you like me to make? Let me know in the comments down below. Liking and subscribing would be greatly appreciated, as it helps push out this content to more people who would be interested in it. Have a great day, and as always, stay tuned for more.